New York Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello has been fired.
What the bleep? Literally, audibly out of my mouth. What the F? Sandy Brondello, who is a two-time WNBA championship head coach, the coach of the New York Liberty, formerly of the New York Liberty, has been fired.
She's the winningest coach in Liberty history, but the Liberty just made an embarrassing move that has the whole league furious. You're about to see the one clip of Caitlin Clark praise that officially ended her championship tenure. We'll analyze the league's insecurity problem and predict where this drama goes next. Sandy Brondello is officially out as head coach of the New York Liberty. Sounds polite, right? But don't be fooled. This wasn't just another routine coaching change. This was a bombshell. The Liberty just parted ways with the coach who literally delivered their first ever WNBA title.
The New York Liberty have let go Sandy Brondello. Well, in their terms, they will not renew her contract. In our eyes, they parted ways. She was fired, essentially. But not as bad as being fired, I guess. But that's just how we talk out here. Nonetheless, I'm shocked. She's been a coach there for 4 seasons. You look at the past 3 seasons, she made it to the finals in her second season. She won the finals in her third season, and they lost in round 1 this year. Outside looking in, you look at this franchise and you see that's a successful franchise. New York is a powerhouse in the W right now.
The official PR line, "We wish her the best." But behind the curtain, the whispers tell a different story. Rumor has it Brondello's exit wasn't about basketball at all. Insiders are saying the real trigger was her public praise of Caitlin Clark.
She's a great player. It would have been good for our crowd to see her, but hopefully they get to see her after post-All-Star. You get to play them again. As for the All-Star, I'm excited to get to know her a little bit. I think that's the part of the All-Star. It's going to coach players that you haven't coached before and get them to know them a little bit and enjoy the whole celebration.
Yes, you heard that right. A compliment could have cost her the job. The Liberty are trying to frame it cleanly, saying her contract simply won't be renewed for the 2026 season, and that the coaching search begins immediately. But the timing? Too suspicious. Sandy Brondello isn't the only one. Noel Quinn is already gone in Seattle. Now Brondello in New York. 2 respected coaches, both shown the door under questionable circumstances. If you're the Indiana Fever, you might want to start paying close attention. Because if this really comes down to Caitlin Clark, then the politics of the WNBA are starting to look uglier than anyone realized. Let's step back. This wasn't just a coach being replaced after a mediocre season. Brondello was the most successful coach in Liberty history, the very coach who finally transformed a super team on paper into a real champion.
Last 3 seasons, Sandy Brondello, 32-8, made the finals, lost to the Las Vegas Aces. 2024, made the finals.
Before her, New York was a collection of stars without direction. With her, they were a finely tuned machine. Brianna Stewart, Jonquel Jones, and Sabrina Ionescu didn't just coexist, they thrived together. Brondello made that happen. And now, one cold press release later, she's gone. Here's the kicker. Buried in all of this is the one thing Brondello did that rubbed ownership the wrong way. She openly admired Caitlin Clark. She praised Clark's toughness, her ability to draw fans, her impact on the game. In most leagues, that would be seen as honest, respectful, even good for business. But in today's WNBA, Clark praise has bizarrely become controversial. Some veteran players resent the spotlight Clark gets. Some coaches avoid mentioning her altogether. But Brondello didn't play politics. She gave Clark credit in public. And right after that, she's out. Think about the timing here. New York wins the championship last year, makes the playoffs again this year, and then, bam, they move on from their coach. If this was purely performance-based, you wouldn't write a press release emphasizing how successful she was. Before we dive into the politics, let's remember who Brondello is.
2 WNBA championships, and the year before, in 2023, won the Eastern Conference title. I mean, what are we doing? She's got a 600 winning percentage and a ton of experience.
She wasn't just a coach, she was the architect. She took a roster of superstars, Brianna Stewart, Jonquel Jones, and Sabrina Ionescu, and turned them from a collection of talent into a cohesive championship-winning machine. Her tactical brilliance and ability to manage big egos finally delivered the long-awaited title to New York. She earned her job security, but it appears none of that mattered.
Just saw this news and I went, what the bleep? Literally, audibly out of my mouth, what the F?
Multiple insiders suggest Liberty ownership didn't appreciate Brondello's comments about Clark. In a franchise built around Stewart, Jones, and Ionescu, publicly acknowledging Clark as a generational player was seen as disloyal. It sounds petty. It sounds ridiculous. But that's the reality of league politics right now. And here's the truth. Sandy Brondello's resume is bulletproof. 2 championships with 2 different franchises, 40 playoff wins, second most in league history, elite company, a Hall of Fame-worthy career as a coach. And yet, she's being shown the door. Why? Not because she can't coach, but because she praised the wrong player. Fans see through this. Within minutes of the news breaking, social media lit up like wildfire. Liberty fans were confused. Fever fans were shocked. Neutral fans called it embarrassing. Everyone connected the dots. Posts poured in. You fire the woman who won you your first title? For this? Another. If praising Clark is a fireable offense, what does that say about the league? The verdict from fans was clear. This doesn't pass the smell test. Even rival coaches like Becky Hammon weighed in, calling Brondello a high-quality coach and person. Translation, the Liberty front office blew it. When your competition is defending your coach, something's off. And when your MVP, Brianna Stewart, was backing Brondello just days before the firing, that makes the decision look even worse. This isn't about wins and losses. This is about control, about who's allowed to get credit, about who's allowed to praise who. The league is sending a message. Praise Caitlin Clark too loudly, and there could be consequences. Keep the spotlight on the approved stars, or else. That's not growth, that's insecurity. Now, let's be clear. Clark didn't ask for any of this. She's just playing basketball, breaking records, selling out arenas, pulling massive TV ratings. But somehow, her name drags others into controversy. Coaches, veterans, even executives are being defined by whether they embrace her or resist her. And Sandy Brondello, she embraced her, and it may have cost her job.
I think we need to make a move to get Sammy Brondello to the Indiana Fever, man. I think this is Sammy Brondello with Caitlin Clark. This is the closest thing we would get to Lisa Bluter. Stop.
Let's rewind and look at Brondello's full story. Born in Mackay, Australia, she was a standout guard, playing in the WNBA and later representing Australia in multiple Olympics. She won silver in Sydney in 2000 and was known for her shooting and basketball IQ. Transitioning into coaching, she quickly became respected for her tactical mind. She started as an assistant, then took over the Phoenix Mercury in 2014, leading them to a championship in her very first year as head coach. Her style was clear, disciplined, structured, and built on maximizing star talent without ego clashes. That's why she was perfect for New York. When Brondello arrived, the Liberty had the pieces, but not the puzzle. Stewart, Jones, and Ionescu were huge names, but didn't mesh. Brondello implemented systems, rotations, and a defensive identity that turned them into a powerhouse. In 2023, she delivered the ultimate payoff, New York's first ever championship. That moment was supposed to cement her legacy. Instead, just 2 years later, it's being erased. Now let's zoom out to Clark herself. Her rookie year has been nothing short of historic. Selling out arenas, boosting ratings by over 200%, and making WNBA merch fly off the shelves. But the spotlight has created resentment. Some veterans feel overshadowed. Some fans claim she's being overhyped. And the media has amplified every conflict, real or imagined. In that climate, praising Clark became dangerous. Brondello walked into that minefield and refused to tiptoe. She said what she believed. This isn't the first time. Other coaches have avoided mentioning Clark entirely. Some players dismiss questions about her impact. But Brondello took the opposite route. She praised her as tough, resilient, and transformative for the league. She dared to acknowledge what's obvious, and that, apparently, was enough to make ownership nervous. Let's talk about league politics. The WNBA is growing faster than ever, but it's also at a crossroads. On one side, established stars like Stewart, A'ja Wilson, and Taurasi, who built the foundation. On the other, a rookie who has captured mainstream America in a way no one else has. The league should be celebrating both. Instead, it's creating rivalries, fostering jealousy, and punishing those who don't play along with the script. We've seen this before. Remember when players clashed over all-star selections? Or when marketing campaigns left veterans feeling sidelined? Now, it's happening at the coaching level. A veteran coach, respected worldwide, is sacrificed to keep certain egos intact. For New York, this is a gamble. Whoever they hire next steps into a pressure cooker. Championship or bust, don't upset ownership. And for heaven's sake, don't praise the wrong opponent. That's not coaching freedom. That's walking a tightrope. For Sandy, the story isn't over. Seattle needs a coach. Expansion teams are on the horizon. Someone will hand her the keys again. And when she beats the Liberty in the playoffs with her next team, it'll be poetic justice. Her reputation isn't damaged. If anything, this firing makes her a sympathetic figure, a coach who stood for honesty over politics. And for Clark? It's another reminder of the bizarre pressure she faces. She didn't ask for Brondello to lose her job. She didn't demand praise. But her presence, her impact, is so massive that it warps everything around her. That's the reality of being a generational player. For the league, though, this is dangerous. Fans already think politics and jealousy are overshadowing growth. Clark has boosted every measurable metric: ratings, attendance, merchandise. Pretending otherwise is delusional. When the WNBA punishes people for acknowledging that, it looks insecure. And insecurity is the enemy of growth. Sandy Brondello gave the Liberty their first championship. She turned a franchise of almosts into a franchise of champions. And still, she was cast aside, allegedly for praising Caitlin Clark. If that doesn't scream insecurity, nothing does. Fans know the truth. Clark changed the game. Brondello saw it, said it, and may have paid the price. But no press release, no spin, no front office politics can erase what's obvious. The WNBA has a superstar unlike any it's ever had. And trying to silence that only makes the league look smaller. Coaches and veterans have stayed silent or even criticized Caitlin Clark. Brondello publicly praised her, calling her transformative and acknowledging her positive impact on the league. In today's WNBA climate, this kind of praise has become oddly controversial, seen by some as a betrayal of loyalty to their own team's stars. By acknowledging the obvious, Brondello apparently crossed a line. In a league where Caitlin Clark has become a polarizing presence for some, Brondello's decision to openly credit her influence was interpreted as a lack of loyalty. It reflects a deeper insecurity within the WNBA, one where protecting certain egos seems more important than embracing the undeniable growth Clark has sparked. Her dismissal sends a troubling signal to coaches and players alike. Don't deviate from the approved storyline. The reaction has been swift and critical. Fans and even rival coaches have labeled the move as political and short-sighted, arguing it damages the league's credibility. Brondello, a proven champion with a strong resume, will almost certainly get another opportunity. But the Liberty, in the process, have set up a tense, high-pressure atmosphere for whoever comes next, all over what amounts to a compliment. This isn't just about Brondello. Her firing sends a clear message to the entire league. Step out of line and you're at risk. This move reveals a deep insecurity at the top of the WNBA. Instead of embracing the immense growth and attention Clark has brought, the league and some of its franchises appear to be punishing those who acknowledge it. This decision makes the Liberty look petty and short-sighted, willing to sacrifice their most successful coach for the sake of internal politics and ego protection. Fans see right through it, and so do other coaches and players. Brondello will land on her feet. Her resume is too strong. She is a proven winner who, if anything, has gained a sympathetic reputation from this ordeal. The real question is, what's next for the Liberty? They've now created a high-stakes, high-pressure environment for their next coach, making it clear that winning isn't the only thing that matters. This entire episode shows that while Clark didn't ask for this, her presence is so powerful it forces everyone in the league to take a side. Unfortunately for Sandy Brondello, she may have chosen the wrong one.